Hi, so for this vlog, it's about the story Push, and I led the discussion lead and did the reading response for this novel. And out of all the novels we read this far, maybe it's because I looked the deepest into this one as well. Sorry, I'm a little out of breath, but I just got the most like meaning out of it, and it moved me the most. Just this whole story was just like very just very moving and just was like very beneficial, especially to me as a future educator, because like there are a lot of aspects of like how teachers and administration let her fall behind in her learning. It didn't address the issues properly that were going on at home. So that was also just a very moving aspect to me. And before I get into the vlog for the week, I just want to address that, and just I really thought it was a great story for me personally to read. So we really want to address her relationship with her teacher, Miss Rain, and how she gets her words out through her writing when she does finally begin to write. I specifically looked at the passage on page 69 where she writes a letter to Miss Rain, and Miss Rain writes under her. Sapphire throughout the novel tries to show Precious's progression of her speech and her writing, but I feel like these passages you really see, you're like, oh my goodness, because obviously she couldn't have written the whole book like this because you wouldn't know what was going on, but you can clearly see this girl is like 16 at the time, and she has no really like reading comprehension. Like it's just like letters. Like it's like what I like would expect my kindergartners that I'm working with now to write. So this passage says, "Dear Miss Rain, and I'm just gonna read what she said under it too because it's easier. She says, all years I sit in class, I never learn. But I got baby again, babe by my father. I wish I had a boyfriend, but I don't. Wish I had excuse me, fucks a boy like other girls. Then I feel right that I have to quit school. I love baby." And then she responds, actually no, we don't have to worry about the response. So we're gonna go back and analyze this. So it says like, "Dear Miss Rain, all the years in class I never learn," and that reminds me. It takes me back to when in second grade she was basically written off. Like they her teacher basically told her like she was like peeing in class and not saying a word, and she said focus on the ones that can learn. So all the years she sat in class, she never learned anything until she came to Miss Rain. And then from there she jumps to the next topic and says, "But I got baby again, babe by my father." So she really jumps from like her learning to her baby. So I think like there it shows that she relates her learning with like her abuse from her father, which is very obvious that like that was like a main extent. Like she was pregnant when she was 12 years old, and so that obviously affected her schooling from there on onwards. And then she goes on to say like, "I wish I had a boyfriend, but I don't." And this relates to her throughout the whole novel. I think it's like just the guilty, like she feels guilty because like when your mother is telling you that you stole her man, and like she knows that like when they do have intercourse, like it feels good sometimes and she doesn't know why. And like so I think that she's trying to say like it's not being pregnant that bothers her so much, just the fact that it is by her own father. And then she said, wish I had an excuse. Wish I had, excuse me, fucks a boy like other girls. Then I feel right that I have to quit school. So that's basically just what I said before. Like if she actually had like an excuse that it was like from a boyfriend or like from someone else, like not from her father, because like she doesn't know how to tell people that. She doesn't want it to be like that. She feels disgusting with herself because her father has been doing this her whole life. And so right there, that's where she's saying. But at the end, she says, "I love baby." So it shows just like her basic human instinct to me, and that is just like you love your own child. And even though it is from her father, and even though that she knows like what he did was wrong, like what he's been doing is wrong, she still loves that baby. And then at the end of this letter to Miss Rain, she writes down her alphabet. So I feel like this writing especially is a way for her to finally get out her feelings, because like I feel like before she could never really communicate what she was feeling, which is hard for a lot of people when you go through trauma. So I think that's why she would go off into her little dazes and like just think about everything going on. And now that she is learning how to write, she has an outlet. And like, especially with Miss Rain writing under her, and writing back to her, she has someone that's willing to listen and willing to help her, which is really what I thought she wanted all along.